my gym teacher in 7th grade said it's only cheating if you get caught.
True.
Okay, probably not the right lesson you want to be teaching children.
Thank you. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, kick the beat, it's PEBCAK and we're coming with the facts. Victor from the great white north, you know he never lacks. Brian on the mic, the big beard in the dome is bald and clean. And Glenn is pouring something strong, the liveliest on the scene. Shout to Ben, the dad type mentor, keeping everybody grounded. Chris, the owner, world's best host, the way the whole crew's found. Yeah, the PEBCAK fam's in the house, we're dropping nothing but the heat. The illest podcast that you'll ever hear. Just press rewind and then repeat. It's PEBCAK, PEBCAK. The whole crew got your back, got your back.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 26 of 2026. I'm Chris Louie, and happy to be back with you guys to record a new episode of the podcast. With me, we have the Cloud God, who has been on a world tour recently.
They call me Mr. Worldwide or something like that. But no, I had a good time in Vienna for Zenith Live. I don't think I've actually told this story, so I'll make it quick. Pretty much just saw the inside of a conference hall the whole time. Whoop-de-doo, right? But one day I was like, my last meeting on the last day, I think, ended at 3, and I have a customer dinner until 7. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. There's this underground lake. I want to go check it out. It's 30 minutes away. I'll go back to the room, update my notes, take a quick 20-minute nap, and then I woke up at 6:50. I was like, oh my God. I almost missed my customer dinner. I was so disappointed that I missed it, but there'll always be another next time. And I would have extended the trip by a couple of days, but just had some other things going on at home I needed to take care of.
Oh, good. Underground Lake will have to wait.
No, with that fancy VP title, it means you get business class.
That is not true. No.
No. Austerity measures, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben Kessler, do you have headphones in? Oh, can you put that in, please?
What do you new?
I mean, a conversation could have been had before we hit the record button to give him heads up, but
I thought you just said give him head.
No.
It was that kind of party.
Hey now.
Thank you. I'll introduce our other Ben.
I got a bunch of weird voices on here. People are freaking out.
That's true. And we do not have Glenn Medina today. We're going to play taps for him. I'll add that in post.
Another victim of the train.
What kind of train?
The place he works at. They just work you hard.
Fair enough. Our first guest this week is the returning Ben Coral, who is now our 4th host. Welcome back, Ben.
Always a pleasure.
Or should he be our 3rd host? Like, we'll demote Glenn and then we'll promote Ben. So he could be our 3rd host.
Ben is now officially a host, and Glenn is this little peon.
He's a guest. We're gonna have him on as a guest.
He's a guest from here on out.
Yeah. Our second guest this week is the returning Ben Kessler. Yes, we have Ben squared for today's podcast. Welcome back, Ben Kessler.
2 Bens, no waiting.
I feel like we've had both of you on before because I think I've made the Ben squared joke before. I have to go back and check.
I don't remember if Mr. Coral was on the last time I was on.
I heard, Ben, your middle name is Dover. Is that correct?
Dover. Although you might be stealing the thunder of one of my dad jokes.
Oh, my bad.
Did Brian look ahead, or is that just a coincidence?
Coincidence.
Are you familiar with the acronym? I think it's an acronym. BOHICA?
I am indeed.
Chris, do you know what it is as well?
I was in the military.
I live in California, so yes, I know what that means.
What does California have to do with anything with the military? I don't understand.
No, just a tax day.
Yeah,
the tax. Say BOHICA.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
right.
okay.
I live in a very high tax state.
I just found that one the other day, so it's in the ether, and I'm putting it out into the lexicon. Here we go.
Sounds good.
Well, that's a problem. It's the problem. Yeah, it's got that A. The again. It's not just
the again. Yes.
Bend over. Here it comes again. Yep. All right. Now y'all know. BOHICA.
BOHICA. Combined, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories to this week, so sit back, relax, and happy Prime Day to all who celebrate.
By the way, very nice Prime Day, because usually Chris is like, what are you guys buying for Prime Day? I'm like, well, if you're the one doing all this stuff, share it with us. Like, well, I found a $50 Best Buy gift card that has $5 extra on it. I'm like, piss off. I'm not going to waste my time on that.
And
you never find anything good.
There we go, Brian, ruining story number 4 again.
No. Heads up. It's been the same exact thing for the last 4 years, 5 years, however long this damn podcast has been going on.
And you're still whining and complaining about it.
You know, Ben, I have your back on so much stuff. Don't turncoat on me.
This week, we're going to talk about free vacation days, hacking the hackers. For our third topic, spying on the spyware makers, and close with TWU talk. And for those of you that have not heard the last 4 years of podcasts, TWU is things we won't use. For our first topic, NL Health Services in Newfoundland and Labrador had to issue a full apology after their simulated phishing test went sideways. The phishing email test was framed as recognition for all the hard work and extra effort during the rollout of their new digital health information system. It promised the staff an additional paid day off as a thank you and included a link button to register and claim that extra vacation day. Clicking the link revealed that it was a test, marking that person as a fail for cybersecurity awareness. And this is your classic phishing simulation bait. Urgency plus reward plus authority from your employer equals high click-through rates. Surprising absolutely no one, the employees were irate. This wasn't just a generic click here for a free gift card test. Healthcare workers have been slammed with overtime, denied leave, and massive pressure from that digital health system launch. Many were exhausted, short-staffed, and dealing with real-life stress. The email dangled something people desperately wanted, which was extra time off right when vacation freezes and workloads were high. People got excited, clicked thinking it was legit, then felt tricked and demoralized when it was revealed as fake. The workers' unions called it cruel, insensitive, and in poor taste. Now I'm just reporting the news, but my personal opinion, attackers will not show you mercy, and neither should your security awareness training. Was it cruel? Probably, but will it make employees think twice before clicking? I sure hope so.
No, absolutely. Sorry. But no, it's not cruel. Why would that be cruel? This is exactly what and why we're trying to train our people to do. We want them to identify realistic looking phishing messages. That's what this was. And if this wasn't legit, would the security team have gotten flack for their controls breaking down? Honestly, if this came from an attacker and people clicked, would the same organization issue an apology to anybody who clicked saying that bad person should not have toyed with their emotions and forgiven them for having clicked and losing PHI or shutting down the facilities? Now, to me, this just sounds like pandering. Bad people do bad things. If this was real, if that was a cyber criminal, what are the consequences that organization would have felt? I don't think this should be a slap on the wrist. I don't like that they're calling it insensitive or in poor taste. I say anybody is likely to be able to click in the right time, the right circumstances. So they found something that was very relevant, and I would not be surprised if cyber criminals have taken notice of this news article, and going forward, similar tactics be used at not just this facility, but healthcare facilities around the world.
Completely agree. I was just thinking while you're talking that sounds like a great idea for other cyber criminals out there to use this.
Yeah, obviously it works. And I've said in the past that I would design campaigns around, and if I wanted to drive up the click rates, I would put out a new HR policy, and you're going to have people clicking on that, especially if you mentioned holiday or vacation. And the other time is if you attach an Excel spreadsheet or something, and you say executive bonuses. people are going to click on that?
Yeah, it's
Should
not
they?
cruel.
No,
That's
it's not
realistic.
cruel. Yes.
So this is very timely, as I just ran a phishing campaign myself. Is everyone aware?
I got that email. Was I targeted? Were you being cruel to me?
No.
He was cruel because when I clicked on the link and it brought up his face on that webpage for his new website, that was very cruel to me to have to see that.
Okay. So I felt like all the Anthropic, Fable 5, Mythos stuff was just getting so much attention. So then I was like, well, I wonder if I could take advantage of this situation just a little bit. So I was like, I wanted to create like kind of an absurd article based off all the speculation. So like everyone was like, oh, Anthropic shut down Fable 5 because of the NSA breach, right? But I was like, it turns out it wasn't that. It was the KFC actually got hacked. And so I go into this thing about, it's, finger licking compromise,
spices,
and all 11 herbs and spices are out there.
Yep.
Now, what's interesting about this is I wanted to see how much I could do without breaking too many rules. So I needed to get 2 clicks. And so I posted this on LinkedIn and I was like, hey, you want to read more? Click here to continue. How many people of the 44,000 impressions do you actually went and clicked on that link number 1, which was not phishing, but it was a link to a blog post? So how many of those 44,000 people do you think actually went there?
2,000.
5% conversion rate. So yeah, right at 2,000. Yeah.
It was exactly 2,000 people went there. And I ran the campaign for 12 hours. So when you landed on the page, it was just basically kind of a repost of the nonsense that was there. And then as you scroll down, it did the typical Wall Street Journal, which is like you hit the paywall.
Yeah.
And so now you have to, you're trying to access exclusive investigations. So you have to sign in with your phone number, Gmail, or Apple, right?
Oh,
and then from there, yeah. And so I was like, I wonder how many people would actually click on that. So I was vibe coding like a mother effer. Like I'm telling you, like this stuff looks so damn good. So then I came through and I was like, all right, not only am I going to see if I can get them to click it, and then this is where I had like this ethical dilemma of like, should I get first name, last name, email address? I was like, no, I think I'll put a little warning on there. So out of the people that actually, clicked and visited the site, how many people do you actually think, hey, I should log in? What do you think that number is?
5% of that 2,000. So 100?
More.
I would have originally guessed 250. So,
man, Ben's killing it. Ben Coral's killing it today. So, like, number one, like you would come over here and you'd click on like yes, I'm a Google person or Apple, and so it was like just north of. Let's see here, 239 is the total number of people that clicked it.
Like 5%. I was close.
And so when they clicked it, instead of saying, enter in your stuff, it says, hey, stolen credentials are the most, common ways that breaches begin. I said, don't be the person that turns a bad click into a board meeting. And then in bold, I said, you are officially the reason why phishing training exists. Thanks for visiting. More details to come on this. And then eventually I went back and surely enough, I edited the post and said, like, this was just a test, a little demonstration of trust. And the engagement on that went down.
Surprise! I like it.
Surprise! Yeah.
But what he's not telling you is that on the bottom of the page, if you entered all of that, it had him saying, "You are the problem. You're why it exists." But the image was him on the body, his face on the body of Conan the Barbarian.
Okay, all right. Don't listen to my friend. He's adopted.
That's funny.
All right, that sounds like that needs to be AI generated.
So Kessler, did you actually see this?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I got a corporate phishing test email within the last week, and I correctly identified it as phishing and sent it off to our internal distribution list. And they're like, "Hey, good for you. You
identified it
successfully. Identified it, and blah blah blah."
Instead of like clicking, right clicking or whatever, and report as phishing, you forwarded it
to the CEO.
I did our email alias.
Come on now. Yeah, there is a phishing link to report
it. I know there is one now. Yeah.
Now
the little yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the most surprising stat of people that engaged with it on LinkedIn was actually 5% were people from Zscaler. I thought the number was, this is like my following in general is like, I think
that'd be higher.
But yeah, I think it, where the heck was it? Yeah, total impressions members reached 35,000.
Nice.
It makes me giggle. So,
yeah.
See, you're exploiting people's trust in you, and they should know better.
Like always think twice
better,
before you click.
This kind of goes to show you. Yeah, I have a whole write up. It was funny. It's like there's some third party called theexploit.co, and it's like satire type of security. Has it ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they reached out. They're like, "Would you like to put your findings on here?" And
that's cool.
We think it's a very interesting article. So
I've
been working with the legal team to see like what I can say versus what I can't. So
nice.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah. I think enough time has passed. We could actually talk about it on the podcast, but Brian was definitely here. Ben Kessler, were you here pre-IPO at Zscaler?
I was not.
Okay, so Brian and I were the only two that got it. And pre-IPO, we had been working here, a couple of years, and then we get a email out of the blue purportedly from our CEO, Jay, and it says, "Hey, we've had a couple good quarters, and you know what's coming next in our journey. This is, we're gonna drop our S1. You can learn more about our IPO. All you gotta do is click on this link, and we're gonna have a big webinar and tell you what's coming next." And that was the phishing lure, and the link that it would take you to was Zscaler, but the L was a capital I think. And I think that had a pretty so number one, this was an authorized red team exercise, so it was a phishing test, but I think it had a fairly high click-through rate of the employees that were here at the time. So it's exactly like the formula that they talked about. We talked about here, some sort of urgency. You better register if it's a webinar. You're gonna miss out on what's coming next. Reward, we're all excited to IPO our company, and then authority purportedly coming from our CEO, and that was one of the red team exercises here that got some people on the naughty list.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy for the bad guys if they're doing targeted attacks. Hey, company XYZ just made a press release about this acquisition they're doing. Click here to learn more about the acquisition, what that means to your job, or blah, 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 right? As opposed to the silly texts I get that say, oh, you have these parking violations, and just generic, whatever.
Fines.
Like, okay. Yeah, okay, delete, whatever. But so anyway, everybody has to be ever vigilant, right?
Yep. Gotta inspect everything.
I don't know if I've ever used the word vigilant in a sentence before.
Stay vigilant.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Bohica.
Way to bring it back, man. Anyways, that's the moral of the story here. Like, despite what Ben Quarles says, like you can feel bad for the employees that fell for this, but I say no guardrails on the phishing tests.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel for them. I do, but I truly hope this is a learning experience for them.
Yeah, gloves off. Throw down. Yeah.
I mean,
well, the risks are so high. The risks are so high, and it just exposes the training opportunities, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, even a single pair of compromised credentials, we saw what happened to Change Healthcare. That was a single pair of compromised credentials, no MFA. They hit I think it was like a Citrix box, and they just got full access. And it took down like America's pharmacies for a good amount of time. That was just one pair of compromised credentials. So, I mean, you got to balance it out. Like, look at all the damage you could have done versus, sure, we got your hopes up.
Yeah, ancient news at this point, but the Target breach was a VPN. It's the same thing, right?
That was was that HVAC or
contractor
was that
login? HVAC contractor login.
Yeah.
No, it's Target was the HVAC contractor, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. Some stunning stat. It's like it's never like 86% of like all breaches have nothing to do with like some sort of wild 0-day exploit. The NSA likes to save that for themselves, but it's all usually around identity.
It's low hanging fruit. Like, why try that hard if you don't have to? People reuse passwords. People fall for phishing. It's like time and time again. Like
Mythos is plugging all the holes that the NSA has been exploiting for decades. They get pissed.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Careful. You're going to get canceled.
No, there's worse things being canceled by the NSA, and I don't want any of that smoke.
It's nice knowing you.
Yeah.
All right, for our second topic, sticking on the topic of intelligence agencies, Canada's spy service, CSIS, I never heard of them, maybe Victor has, got a judge to sign off on a first-of-its-kind threat reduction warrant. This intelligence service were allowed to actively reach into infected Canadian devices such as Soho routers, Ring doorbells, security cameras, smart TVs, set-top boxes, and clean up 2 specific foreign-run botnets. They were given authority to alter, degrade, or destroy the malware and disconnect the devices from the command and control networks. No user identities grabbed, no content scoop, just nuking the malware on the devices, and only those that are sitting on Canadian soil that foreign adversaries were using to hide their traffic and probe critical infrastructure like energy sectors. The court said it was necessary, reasonable, and proportional. Without the warrant, touching someone else's gear would have been computer mischief under the criminal code or a violation of the CFAA here in the U.S. This sets a precedence for intelligence services doing active disruption versus just passive data collection. Infected IoT devices are demonstrably bad. Everyone can agree on that. Knocking them off the internet and disconnecting them from the botnet is undeniably a good thing, and I would like to see more of this.
Are you surprised that Ring was included on that? I thought they would do a little bit better, to be honest with you, especially because I think they force MFA on everything.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Well, they did have, I think they got in a bit of trouble, I remember, a little while ago. I think it was credential stuffing because they didn't enforce MFA. And then I think people were able to get into people's accounts, and they didn't do things like basic things like rate limiting or geolocation stuff. Like if I've never logged in from Boston, all of a sudden I log in from Boston, challenge them for something that I don't think they did that, but I think they do now.
They've gotten into hot water about some other policies and procedures, but that's not related to malicious code running on their boxes.
Yeah.
Now, so first time I read through this, I was reading that and, picked up on if they did not get that court order, it would have been computer mischief. And I'm like, oh, Harry Potter mischief managed was the first thing that came to mind. But then the second thing that came to mind is if we go back to the 80s with Robert Morse and the Morse worm and all of this. When they asked him why he did what he did writing that Morse worm, he said 2 reasons. Is number one, he wanted to see if it could be done. Yeah.
And to see how big the internet was, right?
To see how big the internet was. But he'd been warning people to patch this vulnerability and finger. Nobody was. Part of the payload was to fix the exploit as well. So he was trying to do the right thing in the wrong way.
Like Ben Coral just wanted another reason to say fingering protocol on the podcast.
So
just wait till he finds out about diddling protocol.
So for those that aren't aware, on a Unix system back in the day, you could create a .plan file in your home directory. And then if somebody fingered you, so finger Ben Coral at host whatever, and his .plan file would show up saying what he was working on. So that is how the finger protocol worked. I feel weird being the guy that's taking the high road here on this conversation.
I bet you could have some fun with that, right? You could put funny ASCII art in that plan file. And
see, I played with .history. I played with a lot of those old things. Yes, the old Unix sysadmin in me.
So many moons ago, before HTML and all that, the CERN and everything was building web servers, I was in college with a guy that wrote an Emacs extension to go render hypertext language out of people's plan files. So pretty nerdy stuff, but yeah, anyway.
Nice
trip down memory lane.
Back on topic. Yeah.
Very nice. How much?
So what's interesting to me about this story is the fact that it's even a story. I think the stuff, I was just under the assumption that these agencies were doing this with some sort of blanket authorization, and we just never hear about it.
See, and again, I jump on a lot of calls, and the American in me assumes very much the same. All the Europeans think that the US government is doing this, and I'm always like, are you under the impression that your own government is not?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we have workers' council. We have all of it. And I'm like, you can live in ignorance, but I promise you, I can promise you, this is
at least the EU's upfront about it. They're openly asking Windows and Apple to put back doors in there so they can spy on their people.
Yep. Yeah. We're just doing it passively or quietly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Reminds me of a story that may or may not have allegedly happened. Back in the day when Wi-Fi was new and people were getting, home routers or whatever, and they're all just set to the defaults, all the defaults.
Default passwords, yep.
Default passwords, default Wi-Fi keys, everything. And so allegedly this person was in a place where a lot of different apartments around, and they're all just banging, there's 2.4 gigahertz, right? So everybody's like, oh, I'm on channel 1, I'm on channel 3, I'm on channel 4, right? They're thinking that, and so no Wi-Fi was working. This person may have allegedly gone into them and reprogrammed them so they were on non-overlapping Wi-Fi channels.
just so everyone's Wi-Fi would actually work.
So, yeah, because some work needed to be done, and that person was unable to do the work because of all the Wi-Fi noise. Allegedly.
Someone.
Yes. Might know.
Probably your grandpa.
Oh, no. I remember back in the day using Kismet, finding all of that information, finding out what channels everybody was on so that you could go to one that was underutilized. But I don't know of anyone who moved people so that their own. Oh, yes, I like it.
I think stuff like this has happened before. Like I remember I was at an RSA conference where I think it was Microsoft at their booth. They said we're going to do a live takedown of a botnet, and they click, and then there's a heat map of all these infected devices, and then after their magical clicks, all those devices just disappear. And I think it's more on the legal side, it's been more the takedown of the command and control infrastructure. I think this is probably the first of its kind where you actually go into the devices and patch them and remove it versus attacking the command and control software, because it's a lot easier to get a court order to take down something that's central, and that's the command and control infrastructure. So usually it's Microsoft Azure update notavirus.com, and then Microsoft goes in and says, hey, they're stealing our IP, and then the court says, you're right, that is your IP, and then we hand you the domain, and then they sinkhole the domain, and then that takes down the C2.
Well, but that's his thing, is who's going to go and update their router, their home router? Nobody. My father-in-law is not going to do that. The average person is never going to go in there and update it. And the average vendor doesn't want to have the liability of bricking their systems. So they're not likely to push an update to the firmware.
I think the article said most of these things were end of life, right? So unpatched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's tons of D-Link stuff out there. They're like, yeah, we know it's vulnerable. Yeah, we're not going to fix it.
Why should auto update? Come on now.
Auto updates, absolutely, but these are so old that they don't. And until they start sitting there saying we're forcing people to spend $30 to buy a new router or $50 to buy a new router, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, I remember back in the Mirai days. If you guys remember the Mirai botnet, the Mirai authors, they open sourced the code, and then the internet went wild with these Mirai botnet DDoS machines, and there was some vigilante hacker out there, and he took the Mirai code and turned it against itself. So he says, I'm going to use the Mirai code to infect all these devices, but instead of delivering some kind of malicious payload, I'm going to fix the back door. I'm going to close the back door. So he used the Mirai botnet, infected the devices, and then shut the back door once they were in. So I'm like, maybe that's what we need, a botnet Batman, I guess, if you will.
White hat Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Dark Knight. It's that gray hat there.
Yeah, technically, you're violating the CFAA, but you're doing it for a good reason. Who knows? All right, for our third topic, we did not cover the story at the time because it was a story of Meta spying on people, and that's just an average Tuesday in the tech industry for Meta. But the real story here is that Meta is halting its spying program. This probably falls under our boneheaded story of the week header. So prior to mass layoffs, Meta deployed software. I consider it spyware, but Meta considers it AI training software. They deployed this to all their internal systems to track employees' keystroke data, screen snapshots, full prompts and transcripts to their LLMs, private conversations, performance and people data, typing patterns, mouse movements, clicking, basically to see where users are going, browsing, and how they spent their time. It turns out after collecting all this data, Meta left the data on an internally exposed server that literally every Meta employee had access to. Really, no surprise here. It was not a sophisticated state-backed actor that broke in. It was a, wait for it, misconfigured access control list. Instead of the deny any, they probably set it to allow any, something like that. Is a textbook insider threat data segmentation failure. You're collecting extremely sensitive data under the banner of training, and then you fail at basic least privilege access.
So I said maybe years ago, at some point in time, you'd be able to use AI to make someone fall in love with you, right? And this is exactly the type of thing that if AI got a hold of it, you have all the keystrokes and logins to some chick's private email, Instagram account, like you could very easily figure out what she's about and Groundhog Day your way into her life. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would be possible. Like, if you had that, if you have the ability to, like, I'm sure you guys have seen that video. It's like the, couple's driving and the woman's like, hey, let me see your Instagram. The guy hands him the phone. Yeah. Let me see your Facebook, hands him the phone. And then she's like, let me see your ChatGPT history. He throws it out the window. Like you're, that's like that's your inner thoughts. Like, I think it can be used for bad. So yeah. All right, Facebook, let's go. Way to spy on your employees, buddy.
Well, but that's this thing is, if you think about this, the articles I've read where people are using AI for therapy. So it's not just falling in love. It's not just creating a best friend, but they're sitting there pouring out all of their thoughts, all of everything.
Oh, I've done that
for therapy. And imagine they've run out of tokens on theirs. So now they're using the corporate tokens. Now they're doing all of that at work, and all of that is being captured. Oh my goodness. And the expectation of privacy on corporate machines should be no expectation, but
0.
people still do it.
100%. Yep.
100%. Yep. Which
I
is
would also
why
use this as. Go ahead.
Here's my corporate machine. Here's my personal machine.
Yes.
Marry the twain shall meet.
Yeah.
No. My personal is 2 feet away. I have 2 of these things that are sitting here.
Separate church and state.
Correct.
Yep. 100%.
But I'm really concerned. But what Brian was saying on making someone fall in love with you, the sensitivity of some of that information that's being put there in the wrong hands for the wrong reasons. And now handing some of that, now we have cause for separation. Now we have cause for this. Or now you know how to manipulate people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, hence the fall in love part. Yeah. But like this is one of those things too, like you can almost use it for like a gauge of like how insane you really are. Right. Like remember, in my college days, Brian's got a drinking problem. I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. Like my roommate, he's asleep naked and in my bed. Right. Like that guy's got a problem. At least I made it to work today. But yeah. I would think that you like, I think
it sounds like personal experience, not an actual anecdote.
Allegedly, you knew a guy.
Everything is real life experiences here, boys.
Kessler, now we know why Deej knows what Bohica was.
I was saying it. All right. But no, you have those intrusive thoughts, and one of them, I guess it's not an intrusive thought, but I would love for the end of the world to come, just so I can walk through all my neighbors' houses and be like, are they pigs? I just want to know, like, is their house clean or is it filthy? Like every once in a while you walk into someone's house, you're like, Jesus Christ, what's that smell? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why is there piles of laundry everywhere? What is like, you know what I mean? Like just crazy stuff.
See, that's one of my fears is you are blind to the smell of your house,
Yeah.
but everybody else who walks in can smell it. So I'm always curious because I've gone in enough people's houses, and oh, wow. So I'm curious what mine is.
I invited Brian to my house, and when he came in, he's like, "Why do you have a sweet potato sitting on your counter?" It's just like something so random.
Well, it was number one. It was wilted and all lubed up, so I was like,
"Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
No, none of that actually happened. What really did happen is like, how long have you guys been here again? Like over a year. Why do you still have like the cellophane on your microwave and your TV and your dishwasher? We haven't taken it off yet. I'm like, what the heck?
Because the cleanest service that he uses doesn't get to that level of detail.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it was there for a reason.
You know what's so funny though is like all things considered, Chris as a dad, he's actually a really good dad, right? Like so.
Thank you.
From the sense of like, the divide and conquer. We have to understand that as husband and wives, we have some things that we want to do just by ourselves. So I think one time I was over there, and Grace was, she went out to do the gym or something like that. And so I'm watching Chris in his element, like he is so far in our life. He's just a weirdo. Like Chris is a weirdo, right? But as a dad, he's over here making food, chopping vegetables, getting the drinks, and then cracking the whip on the kids. Like, no, sit down, do your homework lovingly, right? But it was kind of cool to like kind of watch, and like the kids just no pushback. They're just like, hey, dad says something, he means it. Period. Like it was actually kind of a cool.
The dad jokes per hour meter, where does it land?
Dear God, no, Dominic's just hitting you with him left, right, and center, and he is unlike Chris, who can't make eye contact because he gets weirded out. Dominic is just like right here in your face, just like, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, all right, yeah, let's do this, buddy. And then it was just nonstop. So the dad jokes are not because Chris likes them; it's because his son is all about it.
True,
excellent.
He's the jokester of the family for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep. I derailed my train of thought. I was going to say something.
Oh, no. By the way, also there one time where Grace was present as well. And, again, double teaming the whole kitchen dynamic, kid dynamic. And so there was no casting of aspersions towards Grace as if she was not a good mom or wife, because she's equally, probably even better than Chris. Let's be real. But yeah.
I remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So back to your point about telling your inner secrets to the LLM or whatever here. This is a treasure trove of like blackmail information and social engineering fuel as well. So if the wrong person got this, they could potentially have a lot good blackmail material, or not, instead of making someone fall in love with you, manipulate them into doing something that you want them to do.
That's a Tuesday, right?
That's a Tuesday
in the social media industry, because that's what they do. Yeah. So this should not be a surprise to anybody that works there.
It shouldn't be, but it's still disappointing to see. It would be disheartening for you to find it and be like, whoa, what happened? We're supposed to be capturing everybody else's, not our own information.
Yeah. So. Rewind to topic number 2, where we don't think our spy agencies are doing this stuff under the covers.
Yeah, we'll let that one just lay, not go into that.
All right, I have 8 minutes left, guys. Let's make it worth it.
All right, so Brian's favorite topic for our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, as is tradition around Amazon Prime Day, we will talk about Temu, things we won't use. So did you guys find any good deals this Prime Day and buy anything? Usually Glenn has some good stuff. Glenn buys tons of useless stuff.
I did not even know it was Prime Day, so.
It was hard to not know. If you went to the website or used the app, it was hard to avoid. But if you did not do any of that, then maybe you might not have known that it was going on.
Weaning myself
away. I'm sure if I check my credit card, I will see plenty of things. I'm sure my son has been out spending all of my hard-earned money, but I have not made a purchase yet.
All right, let's see if the household made any orders. I'm checking right now.
Our things that I won't use that got purchased on Prime Day this week. We have good friends of ours that this week surprisingly found out they were becoming grandparents.
Oh yeah,
wow. Nice.
So surprisingly, as they just got knocked up, or the baby came out of nowhere.
the latter. Okay. But anyway,
so the baby came out of nowhere. She didn't know she was pregnant.
Correct.
So baby?
We bought some things for the mother and child.
Nice.
So on Prime Day, and so things that we won't use, but hopefully they'll get good use out of them.
So yeah.
One of our coworkers, he sent me. He's leaving. What a jerk! And I was like, oh man, I heard you're a dad now. He's like, oh yeah, baby's a month old. He sends me a picture of him, his wife, and the baby. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, she lost the baby weight, but you didn't. He did not respond. Weight. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I mean, in terms of things that I will use, like Brian said, like I'm pretty boring, but discounted gift cards, this is the best time to get it, like Starbucks or DoorDash or Chipotle. Like you can get at least 15 to 20% off. Like you guys spend money there anyways. May as well buy some discounted gift cards.
It's at 5%, but you're talking 15 to 20. All right, now we might be talking, but for 5%, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Chris is just just the guy. He's always looking for a way to save a penny.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, I get it. I am in need of a new docking station, for the home computer. So maybe I will be looking at something I will use.
Cal Digital or Cal Digit. That's a phenomenal one.
That's where it is. Yeah, I've had
this 300 bones probably.
Like 6+ years now, 0 issues.
Liar, you had to buy it and return it at least once.
I had the 3. I had the TS3 because I think I have an M1, which is only Thunderbolt 3. But if you have the M5s, then you can take advantage of the higher Thunderbolt speeds. Although, I have 10100 or I have gig switches, so you don't need anything over than 1,000 megabits per second anyway, unless I upgrade to fiber. And even then, it's like why? I can wait the extra 20 seconds to copy a large file over.
Chris, how many Synology NASs do you actually have?
I have 3. 1, 2, 3. So these two are mirrored.
Okay.
I guess BCP, not disaster recovery, because if the house burns down, I'm hosed. And then this one is my surveillance NAS. I have cameras inside the house that record locally.
So I'm running something, so had 0 issues with it, but I just recently loaded up something called Scripted. Are you familiar?
No.
It's a container, but it is a resource pig, and I'm thinking I might need to buy another NAS just to run that separate from my Home Assistant stuff.
Yeah. Check on Prime Day. Actually, there are some decent deals on Synology on Prime Day now.
I was going to say, isn't Prime Day coming to an end?
Ends at midnight Pacific time tonight.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, today.
All right, I'm looking right now. Double click
don't
Synology
walk.
NAS. Here we go. $4,259. RAID 10.
Cash or credit?
What I need. Yeah. But the one that we actually like is $230. Okay.
Yeah, I think this one has 10 terabyte RAID 1, and this one has 12 terabyte RAID 1, and then they're mirrored. So then, yeah.
The reason why I knew your stuff was good is I was using Plex at home, and I was like, man, my stuff is dog crap slow with Scripted running. And then I went to go watch that one thing that you got for us, and yours loaded up real quick. I'm like, okay, I got a problem here.
Yeah.
I'm traversing California and Arizona. It's loading faster than my own local crap.
Yeah. I'm doing something right. Yeah, and then I bought an Echo because we needed an Echo. We have one. We have one room. Well, we have 2 living rooms, and we usually don't use the other living room. But then recently, we've needed to use that one more. And then the kids needed something to play music on in there, so I'm like, all right, I'll spend the $40 or whatever to get a device because. I get a Bluetooth speaker, but then a listening device. Yeah, I get a Bluetooth speaker, but then they need a phone or an iPad to do it. So I'm like, oh, screw it. I'm just gonna get the the spying device.
Yep.
And then,
all right. Now, I was going to say, in the 90 seconds before we lose Brian, do you want to hit him with our favorite part?
We
don't.
We continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week. Despite what Brian says. This week, our guests Ben Squared are up.
Mr. Coral, go ahead.
All right. So I got two for you. The first one's going to be a more dark humor one, which is my personal sense of humor. All right, Brian. How many people died on the Titanic?
Not enough. I don't know what.
A boatload.
Okay.
That is accurate. And a submarine load, too.
Yeah. Oh.
So, did you hear about the woman who fell off the cruise ship? Her name was Eileen Dover.
Eileen Dover.
That's nice.
Sister of Ben.
Not a dad joke. Did you guys ever hear about, like, I think it was a Carnival cruise. Wife was really upset with her husband. Like, he'd been drinking all day. So, like, they're in the room. She's freaking out. And he decides that the best option here is to jump off the balcony and into the water. That sounds crazy to anybody who's never been married.
Exactly.
It seemed like a very logical thing to me when I heard the story. So,
yeah. Nice.
All right, Coral, what's your other one?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here you go. My wife asked me the other day how men and wine are similar. I said, I'm not sure. Both take years to mature before they're any good.
Hey, men age like wine and women age like milk. So,
so you're teeing me up for another one there, Beach. All right. So a man goes to a dermatologist with a rare skin condition, and the doctor suggests that he try a milk bath. So he goes to the grocery store and tells the dairy manager, "Hey, I need enough milk to take a bath." Dairy manager says, "Well, do you want that pasteurized?" "No," says the man. "Up to my chin should do it."
Pasteurized. I'm out of here.
Cheers. All right, to wrap things up, phishing tests should take the gloves off. Canada got legal permission to disinfect botnet-infected devices. Meta surprisingly stopped its spying program, and don't buy things you don't need. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank our listeners and subscribers who raised 5 stars in iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian Deach and Ben Coral and our guest Ben Kessler. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day. I'll have anyone here to say goodbye, Felicia. And stop.
Have a nice day.